Welcome everyone. Today we are going to master Bleomycin, an important antitumor antibiotic, using this powerful visual mnemonic. Instead of memorizing isolated pharmacology facts, we will decode this image like a story. Every element you see represents a high-yield exam concept. Let's begin. Imagine a heroic character floating in the sky on a mission. His name is Captain Bleomycin. This is your first and most important clue. Bleomycin leads to Bleomycin. So whenever you see this character, your brain should immediately think of the drug Bleomycin. Now look at his helmet. It clearly shows the label G2. This is a critical exam point. Bleomycin is a cell cycle specific drug, and it acts primarily in the G2 phase of the cell cycle. So remember, Bleomycin leads to G2 phase action. Now look at what Captain Bleomycin is holding. He is using a blowpipe, releasing bubbles labeled Fe, which stand for iron. This is a very important mechanism clue. Bleomycin works by forming a complex with iron, Fe. This complex generates free radicals, which cause DNA damage. Specifically, it causes single-strand breaks, double-strand breaks. So the iron bubbles represent free radical formation, leading to DNA damage. Now look at the large DNA strand next to him. You can see that it is breaking apart. This visually reinforces the mechanism. Bleomycin leads to DNA strand breaks to inhibition of tumor growth. Now shift your attention to the cluster of abnormal cells labeled H lymphoma cluster. These cells have an owl eye appearance. This is a clue for Hodgkin lymphoma. Bleomycin is commonly used in the treatment of Hodgkin lymphoma, testicular cancer, certain skin cancers, including squamous cell carcinoma. So the cluster represents clinical indications of Bleomycin. Now look near the character's side. You will see structures representing the testicular region and a scaly skin patch. These reinforce the same idea. Bleomycin is used in testicular cancer and skin malignancies. Now let's move to one of the most important parts of this image. Look at the character's back. He is carrying a fibrous pack and he appears to be coughing. This represents the most important adverse effect of Bleomycin. Bleomycin can cause pulmonary fibrosis, which is also its dose-limiting toxicity. This means that lung damage is the main factor that limits how much of the drug can be given. So remember, Bleomycin leads to pulmonary fibrosis, leads to dose-limiting toxicity. Now look at the skin of the character. You can see striped or irregular skin patterns. This represents another adverse effect, skin changes, including hyperpigmentation, erythema, flagellate streaking patterns. So the striped skin reminds us of cutaneous side effects of Bleomycin. Now look at the lower part of the image. You will see a kidney with flowing excretion. This represents how Bleomycin is eliminated from the body. Bleomycin is primarily excreted through the kidneys. So in patients with renal impairment, the dose must be adjusted. So remember, Bleomycin leads to renal excretion. Now look at the metallic plate showing DNA fragments. This represents a histological visualization of DNA damage. It reinforces the key mechanism. Bleomycin causes DNA strand breaks, which can be seen at the cellular level. Now let's bring everything together. The Captain Bleomycin character represents Bleomycin. The G2 helmet reminds us that it acts in the G2 phase of the cell cycle. The iron bubbles represent free radical formation via iron complex. The broken DNA strand shows single and double strand DNA breaks. The Hodgkin lymphoma cluster, testicular area, and skin patch represent the clinical uses. The fibrous lung pack and coughing represent pulmonary fibrosis, the dose-limiting toxicity. The striped skin represents cutaneous side effects, and the kidney reminds us of renal excretion. So the next time you hear Bleomycin, imagine this entire scene. The G2 phase hero, the iron bubbles damaging DNA, the cancer targets, and the fibrotic lungs. With this one visual story, you can recall all the high-yield pharmacology points instantly.